Hey everybody, it's Connor with Metal Inside Me. Today on the podcast, we featured Roju for a second time. If you're unfamiliar with our first interview, link down in the description. We absolutely love this band. They dropped a full EP, which is called Nil. It's absolutely dope, and we're going to jump into a clip of one of the songs from the EP and then into the interview.
Take the pain with you. Leave the pain with me. I will never be the same. I will never be the same. I will never be the same. I will never leave the sky in this new cloud circle. Hold your breath on and it goes through the struggle. I must pull through. I'm always everything. I'm always everything.
Chris,
Hey, what's up, guys?
what's going on?
What's going
We're
on?
we're just talking about how terrible COVID's been.
Yeah. Second time speaking to you guys, and it's still the plague.
Yes,
Yeah. Nothing changed.
yeah. So how's the end of the world going?
You know, I think I can safely say I think it's worse here than it is there.
Well, that is true.
Yeah. We've really taken America and cranked it up to 11, baby. It's wild.
Yeah. Chris, they were just saying during the summer, they almost had a 0% infection rate, but now it's actually getting bad there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, while we didn't even come close to a 0% infection rate, things definitely jumped up after Christmas.
Yeah.
We have this problem here where a lot of people don't seem to understand statistics, but I'm not going to go on too long of a rant about the good old US of A.
Oh, man. So, yeah, we have the whole band this time, Chris. We have the drummer, Topeyas, joining us.
Oh, sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
And we got Yanni and Yuha.
All right, awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay,
everybody,
guys.
I think we can jump on into the interview. So obviously we have talked to you guys before, and today we really want to focus on talking about your new EP. Last time we talked, you only had one single out, Calamity. Now you have is it a six song EP fully out. So why don't you guys kick us off and tell us how you put together this EP the last year? You added 5 new songs. Tell us the story of writing this whole thing and putting it together.
I think Joni, the guitarist, can start with this one.
I think Joni is the best one to
Yeah.
answer that question.
No pressure.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Well, yeah, it was a wild year. Like we put a lot of work on the EP last year, and we kind of changed up things as we went on. We released one single by single, basically, and it gave us opportunity to rethink some songs. We had like the most songs written last spring already, but we kind of wanted to rework on some stuff and kind of like let them let us sit on the ideas for a while before we fully commit to them. So I think we are pretty happy with the results because we worked remotely most of the time, so it was rather hard to sometimes get some ideas across, but I think we kind of managed to do it so that it doesn't sound like it's done remotely, basically. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were like a lot of songs, like Event Horizon was written 2 times completely. Like we were like, guys, this doesn't work, and we were almost done with it. Like, like, this is the song. Nah, we don't like it anymore. Let's let's make all the verses different, chorus, everything has to go, all new ideas, and it became like a total different song. And then yeah, this method and has worked with us because like this is our first like as a band, so this was like really we could all throw in ideas and like build this whole EP up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the first version of Event Horizon was really slow, but it came out really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. We kind of wanted to have it more intense because the first two singles, Calamity and Mind Exit, were a bit slower and more like melodic, and we were kind of like, we don't want to do the same thing again, so we kind of went like, let's go full on metal with this one, and with a huge sing-along chorus and energy all the way through. No like nothing like
no breaks. No breaks.
Yeah, basically there's like a small break before the second verse, but that's like the only breathing part in that song, so it's
that's
full
the
on metal and energy. I think the whole EP, like we worked, we had our time to work like each song, and we're really happy with the result.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you guys are all spread out. So aside from the technical aspects of writing the music and producing the music, I'm interested if there were any challenges presented to you in terms of getting it to come together, to cohere thematically, you know, in terms of like what the album is about, given that you guys are literally in different places putting this thing together.
Yeah, we talk a lot about like each of the song and all the lyrics or anything. We have this like, well, using WhatsApp, we all constantly talking like, okay guys, I had this idea, and then we roll with it and do like a few demos from the idea, and like this works or it doesn't, and we have to make it new. So that's, we have to make do with the situation.
Yeah. Did you find it much more difficult to, you know, put together an entire EP remotely as compared to, I'm sure a lot of you have past experiences getting together in person with your bandmates and writing?
I think it came pretty easily in the end, although we were working remotely, but because thanks to the technology we have, we can easily communicate and rapidly send out ideas, and then we can change ideas really fast, because we can just like, oh, that part right there doesn't work, maybe change it. And we kind of found our own language to speak about the music. We don't speak in like really musical terms. We kind of like speak like, this part should go like this part should go like and it's like we all understand immediately basically what we are aiming for. Like if we aren't happy with some drum part, we go like, okay, this drum part should be more like this and sound like that band or that song basically. Or so it's actually fairly easy so far to work like this, and we're kind of surprised by it, because like you said, the past projects we had, we usually have been working like, we go to a rehearsal space and work the songs there or something like that. But this time we don't have that luxury to work at the rehearsal space together all the time. We have a rehearsal space, but as we live remotely, we can't be there like every week. So we kind of need to adjust to the situation that, okay, we work remotely and let's make the best out of it. So
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, did your writing process change over the course of the year releasing each of these songs, or has it always been the same as Calamity, you know, a collaborative, everyone throwing in ideas?
Yeah, basically it was the same throughout the whole process, and it was always like, usually it was me who came with like an initial demo project of a song, and then I sent it out to the guys, and the guys were like, okay, this part sucks, throw that to the trash bin. And I'm like, oh, that's my baby. And then we rework through the songs until we are all like, okay, this works, and this is cohesive enough to like fully to commit to that we want to do this song, and everyone wants to put their heart and parts into the song. So yeah.
Yeah, it's like everyone does their own job. Like Tobias is like, okay, I have this drum idea for this song. He goes and makes a demo of it, sends it to us, and then we're like, okay, this shit bangs. Or no, that one part, it needs a little more like or something, and that's how it becomes like a whole song. And yeah, it has worked for us.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's pretty surprising to me, because like if this was happening like 15 years back, like we would need to work remotely, it wouldn't work as effortlessly as it does now, because we have fast internet connections and fast computers whatsoever, and we can like just send out ideas via Dropbox immediately to each other. So it's there's no like barrier except that we're not physically in the same space, I think.
Mm-hmm. Does anybody else want to chime in on the last couple of questions?
Topias?
I think he's good.
Yeah.
The guys are sleeping or something.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask you guys about the way in which you release these songs, because it's become a little bit of a small trend in the metal community and other musical communities to release things single by single. So a couple of good examples being the Acacia Strain and Sleep Token, and there are definitely some others. And so I'm interested if you guys decided to release these songs one at a time. Was that like a conscious effort, or does that just sort of track your effort in making the album?
I think it's a combination of both, basically, because in this day and age, it's harder and harder to stay afloat, like visible in the eye of the public. So you need to stay on the top of the news all the time. So we thought, like, okay, if we put one single by single, so we can like gain more momentum and make it like an event of some sort. Like, okay, we are putting another single in 2 weeks, so get prepared, and there's a premiere on YouTube and everything. So it's like we try to gather as much people around for the song release as possible, and make it like basically it's like a mini album release event, basically. So we can gain more attraction by that. And
we really wanted to keep like our name out there like constantly, because if we would have like maybe done Calamity and be silent for like 8 months, and now Neil would be out, no one would remember us, because there would have been like 100 new bands during this time. Mm-hmm. They would have released everything, and we're like, did that band release something? No, it's it was like I think it was like the best way we could think of, like being like, hey, we're still here, and still like get the time to work on each of the song.
Mm-hmm. Now, did you guys, I know during Calamity, you did at-home recording and then send it to someone who mixed and mastered. Is that what you did for the rest of the EP? And to add on to the last bit of that question, I kind of want you guys to give advice out there to other local bands of how to record at home. What equipment did you use? Because like your guys' shit sounds professional. Like the production is very clean. It does not sound like it wasn't in the studio. Yeah. So this can be a PSA to other local bands about how to do this.
Oh yeah. The thing is that we when we recorded Calamity last spring, we were like, okay, we don't want to mix it ourselves because the end result might not satisfy us. So one of my old friends was just putting up his company together, to a mixing engineering company. So I was like, okay, let's try him out. And when the song came out from the mix, we're like, boom, that's the song quality rose to a whole another level. But we for like other bands, we definitely suggest to seek out external mixing engineers that work work remotely and aren't like super expensive or something like that, because some mixing engineers can be like really expensive, way too much for a young band. So we advise that people should like seek for mixing engineers. There's plenty of mixing engineers in the world, so definitely look out for
Yeah, definitely
external help on that.
Yeah, and find one who like understands your music.
Yes.
Because we lucked out with Henkka, and he like gave us like outside ears and took the whole music like, you know what, this one part like needs more sub bass or something, and we didn't think of those ideas. So outside ears and outside mixer has been like a gift for us, definitely.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that the equipment we use to record, it's like cheap, almost the cheapest you can find in the music store. So it's really funny that, and it's still kind of like surreal for me at least, that the music sounds so big as it does sound. It sounds pretty professional and clean, like you said. So we are still overwhelmed every time we get the song back from the mixing engineer. We're like, whoa, what the fuck? It's like, yeah, it's a trip to hear the song like to take another level with the mixing engineer, because the songs don't sound bad in the demo state or when we record them, but they're really raw and unedited without any like transitional effects with the parts. But when the mixer gets the song and he works on the song, like he really really listens to the song like, okay, what's the meaning of this part and what's the meaning of the next part, and he really listens it in an artistic way, not just like, okay, let's use an EQ on the guitar, let's mute the bass drum a bit here. He really like listens what's going on, and I think he brings some elements to the mix that we didn't even think of while recording. So we have full trust on this this mixing engineer we use. It's called Harvola Music, and we highly suggest reaching out to him. I think he offers free samples if you are unsure about it. So yeah.
Nice. So, despite the fact that there was work to be done on this EP when we last spoke to you, and despite the fact that these songs, they rolled out one at a time, I think that you guys, all in all, made a pretty cohesive sound. Like when you listen to that EP, you can say this is a Roju record, like you can tell. So with that said, I'll ask you a question I think I asked you in the first interview, which is, what subgenre do you think you fit into, or subgenres be damned?
Oh, I think that's quite a tricky question. We kind of, in the start, we were like, okay, we are new metal or something like that.
Yeah, new
now
metal.
We are thinking, now we are thinking of like, I think we're something more than just that, because we kind of combine different elements from here and there, and it kind of happened naturally over the course of this making of this EP that we kind of like, we don't want to like be locked in a box and, okay, this band is now a new metal band and it can't be nothing else. I kind of like, as a songwriter, I kind of hate it to like just stay in one genre. But if we had to choose, like there was a gun pointed at my head, so I think it would be like new metal or alternative metal. But I don't want to like, we probably won't be just staying that way in the future. Let's put it like that.
Right.
Yeah. One thing, I don't know if I have a question to the end of this statement, but I would just like to compliment you guys on your sound, because, I mean, holy shit, it's okay. So let me see how I can describe this. when I listen to the EP, it gives me like the hit that I like about new metal. Like I can feel the Slipknot influence, but then it just goes into such catchy choruses and then brutally heavy guitars and bass and drumming that reminds me of, you know, all the core music, but it just like comes together in a way that sounds like Roju. Like you guys really have carved out a sound by combining all of these subgenres and elements of music in a great way. So I guess if I had to add a question onto the end of this, was there discussion during this whole EP process of like, was there discussions of the subgenres? I know you just kind of answered that, but it's like, did you guys kind of talk about how do we want this to sound? Obviously it was a deliberate choice to have very catchy choruses throughout the album.
Yeah. It was like we kind of like didn't really discuss about genres while working on the EP that much, because we kind of like were like listening to the song idea first and then going, okay, this reminds me of this band or that genre, and then we kind of like, what if we take some elements from another genre, like for example the second single Mind Exit. It's kind of like a nu metal song, but it evolves almost to a symphonic ending, and it's kind of like it still fits there. So it was like we kind of like listened through this, what the song needs and where the song could go, and try to like really feel the song as we went on part by part, and kind of like write the song idea down and then sleep a night or two and then listen to it again, and kind of thinking like, okay, this part sounds kind of dull, or maybe this could be faster, maybe this could be more melodic or something. Yeah, we really didn't discuss any like subgenres in that sense, like, okay, this needs to be nu metal, this needs to be Djent, or it kind of happened organically for at least me when I was like tracking the guitars and going through the ideas. It was like a rather organic process.
Yeah, I think we really like wanted all the songs to have like that catchy element and like that neck bass. Like when you hear one of our songs, you have to go like, yeah. And that was basically like all the criteria we had from a song. I think.
That's like we wanted like, as Juha said, that we wanted people to have their heads nodding like in certain parts, and we kind of think of like how this would translate in a live situation, like how would the crowd react if we build up this one part and then it explodes, and kind of like riff with that idea in that sense. Although we are locked in lockdown basically and we are stuck at home and we can't play shows, we still think of like how we would translate live, and how we try to work like there's dynamics in the songs, that it's not just all the time heavy or all the time mellow. So we kind of want to have it all basically.
Yeah. So we're about to move into a section about marketing and aesthetics. For the folks who haven't spoken yet, is there anything you'd like to say about the music on the EP?
Igor, you should start.
I think the whole EP was like really therapy session for me, because I'm thinking about all the dark things, what happens in my life, and there's a lot of love songs and breakup songs and, you know, basic shit.
Yeah.
I really like your shirt, Yanni.
Yeah. Fuck. And, yeah, basically the whole EP is saying. But for me, it was really therapy session. But I'm not gonna open all the stories behind the song, so let's keep it that line, you know. I think
a little bit of mystery.
I think there's a couple of people who might be angry for me if I. Yeah.
We'll leave it up to interpretation to the
Yeah.
fans.
Yeah.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about lyricism is that fans can read your music, think about what it means to them, and make it relatable to themselves. Songs don't have to have a cut and dry meaning.
Yeah. That was really important to me, that you can relate to lyrics what I'm singing about. It's not like, okay, I feel like shit and okay, yeah, let's go. But I really wanted to our fans or people who listen our music can relate to the text I am singing about. So
Yeah.
Now, Johan, I recall from the first interview that you were doing the visual art for Calamity. Does that continue to be true for the EP?
Yeah. Everything you see is still my handiwork, and right now I'm working on a new music video for us. It's gonna be out in 2 weeks, maybe. I don't know.
Fantastic.
When it's ready. When I'm done with it.
Yeah. Fantastic. I assume that is no more or less complicated in isolation than it was the first time around.
Yeah, it's not always easy. Like most of band photos we have are like compositions. Like I'm like, okay, get your asses there and do some kind of pose, and all this through my phone. And then I'm like, okay, send those photos to me, and I'll make it look like we're in the same space.
Right.
Yeah, Juha, so we would like to dive into get in your head a little bit, because in both me and Chris's opinion, the aesthetics of the album art, the lyric videos, the visualizers, it works very well with the music and how the music sounds. So what is your inspiration when you're putting together this art? How are you just kind of give us your process of, okay, I hear the song, how do I make this art out of it?
Well, I just want to make visuals that make the song come alive. And usually it's just like listening to the song, like thinking what I'm feeling and seeing. And well, on this EP, there was like always this red line of like this classical art, Greece statues and this kind of thing, which is like, for me, it was always like the whole idea of this band. We wanted to make new metal, but it became more. So like in the visuals, it's like the classical arts and then the Roju touch on top of it. And I think that has always been on this EP, like the constant idea for me. Like, take something and make it new and twisted, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. Connor, do you have any more questions about the aesthetics and that sort of thing?
No, I just, I knew we were going to address Juha about the visuals. I just have to say that the bass tone was fucking mean on that EP.
Yeah. Well, if we're going there, we need to note that all the tones are mean. The drums are punchy, the guitars are wild. And of course the vocals are fantastic too. So
they are. And your feature of Franz Alito, his vocals on Event Horizon were pretty brutal too.
Yeah. Thank you, Franz.
Yeah. So, what do you guys see happening in 2021 for Roju?
We are working on. We are just finished off the EP, and we're kind of like pretty like exhausted from it, but we still are hungry to do more because we are always writing something. So we are working on an album at the moment, basically. So we have like 5 or 6 song ideas at the moment, and we are kind of like searching for new sounds now and seeking like where do we go next. We don't want to repeat the same thing as we did in the EP, and and we are hopefully we can play some shows too, because we haven't played a single show as Roju yet, so we wanna see if there's an opportunity to play a show this summer or something like that. So that's our goal for this year, to make more music and play some shows, and we might do a live stream at some point. We've been talking about that too. So that would be something interesting to do if we can't play live at the venue. So maybe we could do a live stream at our rehearsal space and kind of have a feel of the live situation for this group.
Mm-hmm.
And we are putting out the music video that you has been working on now, and we shot that at the beginning of January, and it was shot on Juha's phone. So it's
like the whole do-it-yourself aspect has been like really, really strong with us. Like all the visuals and everything is like, yeah, I can do it. Yeah, we can do it. Like the whole budget for the music video was maybe 60 euros, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah. There was a lot of like tin foil, bed sheets, construction lights, and things like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we would like each band member to. Oh, sorry. Keep going.
Oh, yeah, and at the moment we are thinking of putting more music out sooner than people might think. So we are currently working on some new songs. We might put a one-off single first and see what happens. But we are working on an album, but we kind of want to put out more music after the EP, because we don't want to, as we said earlier, that we don't want to be like forgotten, like, and stay silent for a year or two to work on the album. So we kind of like if we have a song ready and we feel like, okay, let's put it out, why not? So there's and that's our plan. Like, probably we'll release more music during spring, hopefully, but let's see what happens.
Me and Chris both think that's an incredibly smart strategy, because obviously, like, you guys are a brand new band. You've been around for a year, and you've gotten quite a bit of attention on all the singles you've released. I mean, especially me and Chris talked to a lot of local bands, and I mean, you guys are performing very well, especially in a space where you can't even meet in person. You can't play live. Like, you guys are killing it so far.
And we're overwhelmed by the for Event Horizon. It was our third single, and it was the third song we ever worked on together. Like, there was no like rough ideas before that. It was like, okay, this is our third song ever we did together, and to our surprise, it got played on. Finland has this big national rock and metal radio station called Radio Rock, and it was premiered there. We just sent it out to the guys there, and one evening we were chatting on WhatsApp, and I think our drummer said like, okay, the guy in the radio was talking about Roju, and that they will play us, and we were like, no, you are fucking with us, and stop, quit the bullshit. And then we were like listening, and that's Event Horizon playing on the Finnish radio that is listened by 10,000 of people at the time. So we're like, what the fuck's going on? And it got played a couple of times after that.
Yeah, and it's actually been like 8 times now.
That's amazing.
Still like,
played 8 times now.
How?
Yeah.
Oh
and
my gosh.
And the song Dark Clouds also was played, premiered on that same radio station, and we had no idea that they will play it, but they don't like send us a message and okay, we will play it, and they kind of keep us in the dark, and we just listen every evening to the radio after we sent the song, and boom, there it comes. Like, it's overwhelming, and Event Horizon has almost 100,000 listens now on Spotify, so it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. You know, I think Connor was just about to ask you guys what is like the best or most significant thing that's happened to you in the last year, but I think you just gave us a couple of possible answers.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, that covered it.
Yep, covered it. So the flip side of that question, what's been the most difficult thing over the last year releasing the CP?
Maybe Juha can take this one.
Yeah, I'm trying. There are like few songs like originally, I think we had like 8 songs for this EP.
Yeah.
But then we were listening to it like this doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
As a whole, it didn't make sense, and it was like for a long time it was really difficult to find the songs that like they were good songs, but they were not for this EP. But it was super hard for a long time to be like what's the problem here? And in the end, we sat down as a group remotely and talked about like all the songs like one at a time. Like, yeah, we have to cut this. We have to cut this song. And I think the last song that was cut was like we are recording the bass, and we're like, nah, we're not gonna do that song. Nah, we don't need it. Yeah, I think that was like really difficult.
I have to agree on.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I have to agree with Juha that was like the most difficult thing to find the right tracks for this release, because there were some really good ideas left out from this EP, and we were like, okay, this is a great idea and it's a great song, but it's not the right project or EP for that particular song or two, and maybe they will be reworked on the future for our debut album, but let's see what happens. I think that's something that happens for every band, I guess. So it's probably pretty common that songs get cut out because they don't fit the track list or something, and then they maybe rework them later on down the road. And yeah, and for me personally, the hardest thing was to keep it fresh and interesting for myself, as like making the songs like that it's inspiring for the other guys and that it's inspiring for me, but I don't want to like venture too much, like, because we all listen to all kinds of music, but we kind of want to have a like cohesive combination of songs. So we don't want to like make a reggae song out of nowhere, and we kind of want to put like a lot of ideas in there that fit together, but still sound somewhat fresh. And the songs that the hardest part was to find the identity to every song, basically. So that was something that at some points, me personally, I was struggling with, to find like what makes the song unique, like. And for example, the song "The Solace," this last song on the EP, it was rewritten completely twice. The first version was really, really different, and all it was like this piano melody that is heard in the song. So we scrapped all the other elements and reworked the whole song, and I think it came out pretty good in the end. And
yeah,
I got kind of sidetracked there, but I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. That ended up being quite insightful.
Yeah.
Connor, do you have anything else?
No.
All right, guys. So I think we've hit the point in the interview where if there's anything that you want to plug, anything that you want to bring up that we haven't touched on, or anything that you want to ask us, just fire away.
Well, the music video for The Solace is coming, I think, on the 12th of next month.
Yep.
Probably.
And I think I'm the only one who has seen that video. The rest of the guys haven't seen that yet. So.
Yeah.
Only Juha and me.
Yeah, so we'll leave them in suspense.
Yeah. We have full trust in Juha. He is great at what he is doing, so we trust him.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I really want to thank you guys again for having us, because it's really weird and amazing that we talked 8 months ago and we just had Calamity out, and here we are again. I think it's great, and thank you for your support.
Yep.
Yeah, of course, guys.
we're always happy to have you guys here. So when you guys get to that album that you're eventually going to have out and is going to be on the charts and whatnot, just come on back.
Yep, come on back, guys. We love what you're doing. We appreciate your time. We want to do what we can to help promote you guys. Keep us updated on Instagram. We'll plug your singles when they come out, like we did last year. We love what you're doing. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
No,
Thank you.
you.
That means a lot. And
Yeah.
I hope the listeners get something out of this EP, because we really enjoy what we are doing, and we are really happy with the end result, even though there were some struggles. But we think it's a pretty good debut effort from us, and I hope people find something out of it and have some energy or happiness through the songs or something like.
Oh yeah.
Like that. Yeah, that's our that's the most important thing, that we hope the music connects to people.
Yeah. Well, we agree. So for everybody watching, Roju has a new EP out called Nile, right? Or Nil? One or the other?
Nil.
Nil. Okay. Yeah. All right. So Roju, Nil, it's out now. Please go get it. And for everyone in Roju who joined us today, thank you guys again very much. And we'll see you hopefully pretty soon.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
It was awesome talking to you guys. You guys, I mean, me and Chris were so excited to have you guys back, because you're a lot of fun to talk to.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, you too.
This is really fun.
Yeah.
Awesome, guys.
All right. Take care.
Have a good 2021. Bye.
Bye.